Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the R&R podcast, where we bring you Ratchet and Rollers.
We already said Ratchet.
What?
No, he said Ratchets.
Oh, you're
Yes.
dropping the S.
Oh,
I
okay.
dropped the S.
Okay,
I dropped the
alright.
S. Yeah, but it's a Ratchet and a Roller. My Toyota Corolla. What's going on, everybody? I am your host today, Choviz. Leg hair, as Trey would say. We have TP Patterson right here. Trey TP
Shut the
Patterson.
fuck
We have ourselves Rolento. I'm not going to say his last name because I was about to say Johnson, but that would just been awkward. Yeah, Roland Johnson, man.
Hey.
And we got a special guest. He's actually joining the team here. Our man, what is your last name, man?
Al.
We got Al.
Simply Al. We got
Ming, formerly known as Al.
we got Ming Al up in here. No, I'm just playing though. So we got our
Isn't that a
hoot? What's going on, everybody? We got some dope topics today. Say what's up. Actually, Ming, say what's up to everybody.
Yeah,
Say
man.
hello.
Yeah, talk.
Introduce yourself.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Alan Ming Ao. I'm a good buddy of Trey's, and I'm here to just talk about some random shit with you guys.
All right.
There you go.
See?
You got it now.
That's how you know we trying to go somewhere big because we brought an Asian on board. This is important.
Yes.
All
You
right.
said brought an Asian. Oh my God.
Nothing successful without an Asian.
I told you, Reese's and racism. You guys. Oh man.
So, yeah, man. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna ask the question already. We got some really good topics today, and I'm gonna start with the first one. The first topic is,
You forgot the topic.
Yeah, look at
Oh
it.
yeah, I know the topic.
It's a
I know
heart.
what the topic.
Yeah,
I know,
heart,
yeah.
yeah.
So I want to ask you
Hard.
guys.
It's like-
I want to ask you guys: is hardcore gaming is the term hardcore gamer even relevant in this time of gaming? Just because, in this current generation of gaming, is the term hardcore gamer a thing? Because I'm not really seeing it. I know what it meant to me, but I want to ask you guys. So I want to see who want to tackle it first.
I think we should give it to the special guest.
Yeah.
Special guest.
Throw the alley-oop.
Yeah.
All right, let's see.
So, I actually do think very strongly that, in this day and age, where, gaming in general seems to be more popular than it was, a couple, back when we were kids. There's now, multiple different, I guess, factors, or, factions. In terms, when I think of, the most hardcore gamer, I think of, people who are either playing games competitively or, dedicating their lives to streaming. Because, that's when, their gaming is, a business. That's what they, do to get money.
Okay.
Then you have, super casual people who are like, oh, yeah, I pick up, a Mario game every now and then. And then, sort of, and then middle of the road is, people who, kind of like us, how I think. It's hey, yeah, every now and then we'll, play a session of Overwatch, and we'll, try to grind ranks. But we're not, super hardcore to the point where, you're actually, practicing actively, every day.
Word.
I got a battle for you, Ming.
Yeah.
So, say if I'm playing Mario, I'm a hardcore gamer. I'm a speedrunner. Would you still classify me as a hardcore gamer based off of what you just said?
Actually, in a way, yeah, because, in certain, from what I know, for certain speedrunning techniques, that's kind of if you're trying to, skip levels or whatever, exploit a glitch, that requires a certain
Skills.
degree of, muscle memory that you need to, keep practicing. I've actually, I watch a couple speedrunners, occasionally, and there's always those hilarious moments where it's just, an everyday stream, and they will non-stop keep resetting at specific points if they can't get, the timing down perfect. They're
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I
then
remember seeing
and then you as, the viewer that's not really dedicated to the person, you're just holy shit, just, move on. I want to see the rest of the game. It's no.
Move on.
I feel that. Well, to rival that, to rival that is, I would say this. I wouldn't say, I'm not saying that people aren't hardcore gamers anymore, but I will say that the term is loosely thrown around nowadays. I mean because a lot of people kind of stick to one title. There was a point where hardcore gamer, in my opinion, from back in the day, was somebody who played the story games, played competitive games. They legit gamed on. They tried everything. They played everything.
Yeah.
I think now a lot of what I'm seeing is one game or nothing. You know what I mean? And you see somebody playing WoW, for 12, 14 hours a day, which is a long period of time. They're like, I'm a hardcore gamer. I can't say you are. I mean, I think you're just a hardcore. I think you're a hardcore fan of that game.
I think you have an addiction.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think you have an addiction. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's other people who were like, oh yeah, man, like, I play fucking Fortnite when I wake up until I almost die at night. And I'm like, well, that's a
Don't
problem.
you have school tomorrow?
Yeah, don't you have school tomorrow? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like it's not like how it was when we were younger, where being hardcore and being competitive really meant something. It was a treat to be able to get online and do multiplayer, and really, you had to really invest in order to play multiplayer.
Yeah.
Now the kids, they're like, I mean, what's a part of the deal? I'm just going to get on. I think that's term, in my opinion, the people that we were talking about who were like, yo, like they go in and they dedicate their lives to it. That's what I call a pro. Like, that's a pro. I mean, at that point, it's just like, it's not even hardcore game, because this is
straight up professional.
This is straight up professional at this point. Like, these people are hitting you up and saying, hey, how can I make my game better? Let me give you the copy of the game, or let me send you to the tournaments early for you to test out the game, or whatever the case is, so that I can make it better for the normal people. Hardcore, for me, I feel like has kind of, it's not that it's not around, it's just not a thing. Like, because people kind of have their one thing and they stick to it now. That's just how I'm seeing it.
I'm surprised you taking shots at Kev, kind of.
Oh, you're right.
I felt the shot a little bit myself, because I was like, I play Madden a lot, and then Kev was like, only Kev do is play Madden Overwatch.
But we're also at a different point. I mean, we're at a point where, that's the only reason I respect what you guys do, because you know me, I'm a huge like don't fucking do that. You should play everything type of person.
Yeah.
But excuse me. One of the things that I realized, like, for myself, I realized that I have gone into. I used to dedicate myself. You remember, I would platinum every game.
Yes, I remember you beating Dead Space on the hard difficulty where you get 3
with
saves.
With one gun.
Yep.
I was serious, like, but that took dedication, and I don't see that anymore. Nobody's completing shit. I mean, you have some people who are trophy hunters or achievement whores or whatever, but it's not like how it used to be. I think now it's more of like a, all right, what's the hottest thing out? All right, bye.
Well, when it comes to arguing the trophy aspect or achievements and such, a lot of games have it where, but back in our day, like, not back in our day. Oh my god, I feel so fucking old. Let's say when we were younger, which is not too far off, bitch. It was about like, a good decade ago. I got mad on that one, but no. So no, like back when we were playing games when we were in high school and such. You got to think of the games that were made and how, like, the content behind it. Like, we were still during that era where the content there wasn't all microtransactions.
Yeah.
So because, like,
I think that's
like when it comes to trophies, when it comes to trophy hunting or achievement hunting, a lot of games have it where to get those, you got to get either DLC or you got to be basically sacrificing money to give you the opportunity to get that is because remember those old achievements back in the day where it was like, for example, you gotta beat a developer at the game to get the achievement,
or find somebody who beat the developer.
Yeah, and then they get like a STD or
we definitely just shot at Borderlands and Gearbox. But go ahead.
Yeah, but like Rainbow Six. But yeah, so but yeah, like in that situation, we had more like when it comes to trophies and achievements, we had it where it was like it wasn't microtransaction based. It wasn't DLC constant based. It was just, here's these trophies. You dedicate the time. If you right place, right time, right skill level, you get it. Now it's, hey, guess what? Buy this pack. You buy this pack. You get a kill. Guess what? You did it. Woo, high five.
Yeah. I feel like it's taken away the struggle, or it's taken away the struggle, or the idea that made you feel like you were hardcore. Like when you seen somebody with a certain achievement and you was playing this person in a competitive game, let's say Call of Duty or Halo or something, you'd be like, oh, I ain't fucking with him. Like this dude decided to go through the game on Legendary.
Remember when gold guns was a big thing back in the day?
Yo, seriously.
Remember that gold fucking Desert Eagle?
Yo,
man, that was you had to grind for that shit.
You had to grind, but that was my idea of a hardcore game, because like not only did you grind, but like you played other shit. Like with those people. You would like play other games. Like if you play like Call of Duty or whatever, you would see their list. Like they didn't just stick to, this is the only game I play.
Yeah.
Like it was games. Like hardcore gamer, not hardcore game. Like
I would even say that even our scope of hardcore gamer is skewed. Because if we think about even like the people that came before us, a hardcore gamer were the people that had all the quarters. They went to the arcades, and their name was on the scoreboard on every machine.
Yep, AAA or ass.
Yeah. Everybody put ass on the thing. Everybody did.
And that's what you would
If
like.
he was really nice, ass dick balls. Like,
Ass dick ball. Ha ha.
And that's what you would like, associate as a hardcore gamer back in the day.
Yep.
Everything was more so localized, Now that there's so many eyeballs and, like our attention spans are kind of going, and we're like, oh, we want the newest thing, we want the latest thing. It kind of died out,
Yeah.
And,
was it? Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, because I was thinking about it. Like, well, I mean, if that was a hardcore gamer back in the day, then I mean, what classifies? I guess, if you take kind of what happened in the day and apply it to it now, would that mean that you have to be placed in the leaderboards to be classified as a hardcore gamer? Or
but I think the standard changes per
Because you
where
get paid
whatever
for it now.
well, no, I think it's
no,
whatever.
not even.
No, no, no.
You
I
still
think
have to have
it's-
some skill.
No, no.
Some
I think it's whatever
some
generation you're in.
Yeah.
I think it's whatever generation. Like the generation before us, like if they see a leaderboard, they're probably like the person at the top is is a hardcore gamer.
There was a whole
You
thing
know?
with the Pac-Man dude over there. Where
Exactly.
It was like the bull who got, by the way, he was a cheater. He was a cheater. Nigga got busted, yes.
But I think that it varies between generation. Like us, we're like, oh man, this person has like a lot of platinum trophies. They have a lot of this. They have a lot of that. They're a master at different games.
Where us, it was all
that
around.
we're like, okay, like this
was
person's
all
well
around
rounded.
for us,
That
yeah.
person is a hardcore gamer. I think the kids nowadays, they look at Ninja who plays freaking Fortnite and they're like, he's hardcore. Like
Yeah.
I think it's different for every single
Yeah.
generation.
That's true. I can see that. I guess hardcore for them now would be being the last person at the end of a fucking like battle royale, being number one.
Just
at the
getting a
top.
lot of eyes on Twitch and being known, I think
Yeah.
they'll be
It's-
like,
it's-
that is a
it's the
hardcore
hardcore
gamer.
gamer.
Where
And
we
the
look at
thing
him, we're
is-
like, dude, you probably never played like GoldenEye back in the day.
You
or something,
you probably like haven't expanded your library past the game that you're getting all your love for.
If you don't have skill, I swear to God, man. It was on Twitch, man. Twitch makes me mad, and I don't want to go too much on a tangent with that. But let's just say this little mini tangent right now, Resident Evil. I was on there. I usually like watching Let's Plays or gameplay of
them. I
Resident
love
Evil,
them.
especially
They're
like the
fun.
remake. 'Cause
Which
it's
I
fucking
want to
amazing.
do a Halloween thing with you
Yeah,
if you want to.
I got you.
Just
Just
saying.
But no,
I got
so on there it was this like, I try to be equal with every gender. Because there's a lot of genders and helicopters. There's. Let me stop before I get myself in.
You're gonna get killed.
But no. So there's like, I'll be like, all right, a lot of dudes are basically holding the fort when it comes to like say Fortnite and all these other games and stuff like that. When it comes to streaming essentially.
Word.
But there's also women streamers that are actually really fucking good at games.
They're
And
really
I
are.
always enjoy watching that. I'm like, cool, you're a chick that can game. I love it. That's a great idea. In fact, but the main thing I'm getting to my point is I was watching a Resident Evil gameplay, and I've watched many Resident Evil gameplays just because they have different tips and things that they do that no one else might have known about, like ever. So then it's like, all right, bet. Let me go and see what you do so that when I play, I can keep that in mind. This girl who has like, I don't know, maybe 100,000 followers. I don't remember her name or some shit like that. But she had over 100,000 followers, whatever it is.
Word.
I was like, all right, well, I want to see what you're about. She drops on there. She's like, oh, hey guys, I'm a hardcore gamer. Now, obviously, she was
heavy chested.
heavy chested. Yes, she was heavy chested, and she was wearing like a really really short top. And I'm like, all right, well, whatever. I don't give a fuck. That's what you wear. You wear what you wear. Show me the moves. Show me your moves. So she played the game Resident Evil the remake one for 2 minutes, 2 fucking minutes, and was like, hey guys, yay. I'm gonna pause the game real quick, and then somebody dropped $500 on her.
What?
Yo,
What
that
you mean?
shit.
She's totally
But
hardcore.
she classified herself as a hardcore gamer, and that shit made me mad. I was like, "You are not a hardcore gamer. You're a fraud. You're a phony. You're a big phony." So it's like,
That's
so my
We should talk about
whole
that.
synopsis on that
Not
is
right now.
just please stop doing that shit. I know you gotta make your money, but don't classify yourself as a hardcore gamer. That's my request. Just say you game. That's it. Just say you game. That's it.
Say, you know
She's
what?
a
I
hardcore.
scam
Well,
niggas.
nice. She's a hardcore finesser.
Or do let me like this page is for modeling / gaming. Like if you want to model your breasts, if that because you were born with a nice asset, you know what I mean. Use your skills chart to your best ability, and when you do that, just be honest.
I'm waiting for the part where I can show my dick print. while I play video games and be like, "Hey,
A
give me money,
hardcore.
give me
No,
have,
he like
have a
this,
little
he
bit of
goes-
pubes
he gonna
stick
get up
out,
and stretch.
like some pubes stick out a little bit by itself over this, and be like
The thing
$20.
is, you get $500, you'll get a lawsuit.
What's this movement? I'm done. All right, my bad. All right, back to these things. Like when it comes to the term of it is.
So overall, I mean, I would say I would come to the conclusion of this. I guess the term hardcore gamer, from me, because we all have our different point of views of how we feel about it. You know what I mean? I guess it lands in your generation. I mean, it basically caters to whatever your generation is, and once you get to that point, I mean, me personally, I'm always going to say, if you're not overall, like, if you're not a well-rounded person, like a well-rounded gamer, and you can't hold the leaderboard, all that, those are hardcore gamers to me. You got a couple 100 platinums or 100 games that you 1,000 gamer scored or whatever. If you're not doing none of that, still, you know what I mean? That's not hardcore to me. You know what I mean? If you can't do that, I feel like that's hardcore.
You know what's hardcore to me?
What?
My classification of hardcore. You know I'm about to say something stupid. You already see
Go
it.
ahead.
If you
Reese's and racism?
no. I'm just saying, if you want to be classified as a hardcore gamer to me, turn down pussy. To play some fucking Overwatch or some shit.
Yeah.
Like, when you turn down sex, a girl offers you them cheeks, or dude, whichever one you want. Whichever one you want. We don't judge here. But if you turn down sex to play video games,
Would you like a blowjob?
then
I'm trying to finish Crash.
then I ain't trying to hear nothing. Exactly. That's when you hit that plateau of like, you aren't just an average gamer. You're an advanced gamer.
I'm gonna Stormy Ascent, the really hardcore stage. Leave me alone. My dick will be fine. I got my right hand. I got Jill.
I got jail. Warning, doing that will result in you not getting ass. So be careful.
We do not condone, my friends. We are not hardcore gamers. We are slaves to the pussy. No,
So wait, I got like a quick little side tangent. Like
What's
with hardcore gamer, I know a lot of people, like, they kind of sort of classify, like, if someone plays like a Nintendo system, you're not hardcore.
Because you're not. Because you're not. You soft. SAWFT soft.
I would say. I mean, in my opinion, for that, I kind of have to decide and say that it's not hardcore because of how it's introduced. I think there's things that you can do on, like it's kind of like what people did back in the day. A game might not have been hardcore, but they're going to try their best to make it hardcore because it's like you're giving yourself new challenges. So a lot of these Nintendo games don't come with like crazy hardcore challenges. It's like you make challenges, like the people who do the Mario speedruns. Nobody asked you to do that.
You're right. That's a good classification. I actually agree 100%. When it comes to Smash Brothers, niggas always be like, Final Destination, no items. You
Well, it was made to be a party game.
Or in this case,
It
when it
was
comes to
made to be a
Pokemon,
party
where it's
game.
the Nuzleaf challenge. Or
Oh,
Nuzleaf,
yeah,
the Nuzleaf
yeah.
run or some
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Where it's like, you know, you die, you lose your nigga, you gotta release him.
Oh yeah, you gotta catch.
But
someone
like
in
you
the
see what he's
wild.
saying, like you
You
have
have to
to
kinda
make
make it
challenges
yourself.
on
Make it
top of
yourself.
it because it's
Yeah.
not really made
Like
to be hard.
it can be
Not make-
seen like, oh man, my man got all these what was that, the
Ribbons?
yeah. my man got 100 ribbons from Mario Kart. You know what I mean? Or you know, he went on Mario Kart and hit the leaderboards at number 1, and it's like, all right, well, like how many kids did you ruin while you was doing that? Because like there's you know what I mean? Or oh, my man is the top boy on Splatoon. Well, the average person that plays Splatoon is 16 and lower, and you're 30. Like, you know what I mean? Like it. You know what I'm saying?
We're not trying to sit here and bash.
Not bash.
We're not trying to bash you. If
It's
you
just-
if you classify
The
yourself as a
melee
hardcore
community
Nintendo
gonna
gamer,
kill everybody.
But say, like, if you classify yourself as a hardcore Nintendo gamer, I get it. But what we're trying to say is, you see that these games, not a lot of Nintendo games come with a challenge on its own. You have to make a challenge to get yourself
only
to
game-
classify
yeah,
as a hardcore gamer.
I'd say that nowadays, like, definitely Nintendo mostly caters
To the
to like
kids.
wanting to make the game just straight up fun, not really hard.
Which is it's still good.
I respect
but-
you like that.
On like a funny side note, I read an article about like how the original Legend of Zelda just got re-released on the Nintendo Switch, like sort of online whatever. And what they did is they have like a mode where you just have everything unlocked from the very beginning. None of that like extra like, oh, you gotta like burn like however many like questionable bushes to like find the stairs. Like you just have everything and you just like
they're
throw
making
it
things
through the game.
easier.
Yeah.
Like,
but they've been doing that. That's what they do now. Their whole thing is like, kids, have fun. Your parents spent all this money. Jump to the end. Love you. And it's just like, stop. Like let the kid grind for it. Like the games that were hard are from the NES days.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? SNES days.
Them shit's difficult.
I think. I mean, there has to be like some sort of balance, but in the example of the original Legend of Zelda game, that was designed to make you sink an absurd amount of time. Just like randomly like, oh yeah, like this random ass wall that looks like the same exact thing is definitely the cave that leads me to the sword. It's like, what the fuck? How am I supposed to know that? And it's like, that's like sort of like, it's like, oh man, Nintendo power. That has all the answers. I'm gonna get
that was their marketing. Like you were gonna buy the Nintendo Power to get.
Thank you, Trey, for the marketing.
That's the marketing.
Trey is Reggie. I don't care what nobody said. Him and Reggie related. He said, and that was our marketing. If you don't have a copy of Nintendo Power, you don't have power. Thanks, Reggie.
So to wrap that one up,
I agree with you. You can't be a hardcore gamer playing a game on a PSP either. Like you just
now you know we all played the city. It's like so on my next thing I want to ask you guys. Now this is very important, and this is very important to me, and the reason I say it's very important to me is because I think we all are the suckers of nostalgia, but I want to ask you guys how you guys feel about it.
Fool.
But you got the Yakuza games.
Playing traffic.
So, how do you guys feel about the how do you guys feel about the gaming, the gaming companies and stuff to release? I'm remembering what I wrote. HD, definitive, and remastered versions of games. Do you feel like it's hurting gaming, or do you feel like it's benefiting it? And I want to start with. I had started with Ming earlier, so yes. I want to start with you, Rolento. How do you feel? How do you feel about? Because I mean, there's a lot of games that you didn't have a chance to play, and there was things like that. So I know that those type of things might interest you in a way of like, oh shoot, like I didn't get to do that as a young bull, but like I always had that interest. Where like somebody like myself who might have already played it, and I'm like, I'm buying Kingdom Hearts 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, every single version.
3.5.
Kingdom Hearts, the story thus far. God, I really hate that. It's so dumb. Just give us 3. It's like you literally just released a compilation game, like freaking.
He is so upset.
A month ago, and he's just like, what? What is this?
That was Ming's sick. I love it. All right, so how do you feel about it? How do you feel they hold up? Do you think they hurt us?
Yes, Roland. How do you feel about Kingdom Hearts, the story thus far?
All right, so I have a mixed bag on this because I get it. I get why you remaster games and such like you want to have it where, as you said, people like me, because I'm going to get burned down for this. I never had a PS2. So, I missed out on
wasn't his fault.
I missed out on every game that came out for the PS2 for a whole decade. That includes Kingdom Hearts. So, Kingdom Hearts don't mean shit to me. At all. I don't give a fuck. I was still in the hood. I wanted to play fighting games and want to play 2K and Madden. That's all I cared about. Because at the time, if you played anything outside of that, you might get bullied a little bit. So, but anyway, but no, when it came to that, when it comes to remasters, I get the market behind it. Like, I get why you do it. I get that you want to introduce and help the gaming community or people who haven't played a game. Hell, or even get people who are younger to the point where they're like, what game is that? I would like to play it, but I don't feel like it because the graphics are bad. Mm-hmm. But now they have great graphics, so now it's great. Yay, go buy it. My issue lies...
You're going to say Secret of Mana. Go ahead.
I'm not going to say Secret of Mana. I'm not going to say... It's not...
Specifically targeted.
It's specifically targeted a little bit, but not right now. My issue lies with a game that remasters a remaster. So yeah, just to break that down is, so if there's a game that came out during the GameCube era, or came out before that, fucking NES era or some shit, or the N64 era, you want to remaster that game onto the fucking onto the Switch. Cool, I'm down with that. No one's gonna. That's a big ass gap. But when I sit there and I see the same game remastered from PS2 to PS3 to PS4. No,
Okami.
No, like
Kingdom
like,
Hearts. Kingdom Hearts did
like
it.
Kingdom Hearts do
did
it.
Yeah.
Fucking Resident Evil did it. Not Resident Evil. Not yet. Resident Evil was probably PS3 post. Then they just kept doing a remaster consistently.
I saw 5 a lot.
Yeah, like you see what I'm talking about. Like you see
4 a lot.
You
too.
see
Four's
4
the
in
one-
everything.
Four's the one you
Yes.
see.
4
Five
is ported
five
on
just
everything.
getting
4
it.
is remastered on everything. And it's just like my issue lies when it comes to a game that's remastered from a remaster. What was the one that was it? It was no, actually not just yet. That one actually I let slide. But if it remasters again, I'm punching him in the fucking mouth. But I don't like when it comes to the remaster side. I don't mind it if it's a few generations behind or a generation past, but don't do it every system. That's where my issue lies on that.
Yeah.
But when it comes to let's say a definitive edition, or
Mhm.
what about a remake?
Well, remastered. Remasters technically remastered.
Remaster's not a remake.
Like
Remake tells a different
it's not,
story,
yeah.
or it tells a different blend
Yeah,
of it.
or
Like
they'll
kind of
add
thing.
features to it.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
like you know, Resident Evil, Resident Evil 1, which is arguably the best remake ever made.
Yo,
Arguably the best
yo,
remake ever made.
that
Might have thrown that in
is-
there.
that
That's a
is-
remake. Like
that
now
is-
they use just the copy and paste. They're like they change the story up, they added different elements. There's it's a different concept, different monsters.
Right.
It's not just copy paste. Here's better graphics.
Well, remake, in my opinion, is fire on the simple fact that if you get it right. Like remake isn't cool when you tell me it's a remake, you just updated the graphics. That is what you said, or just a remaster. I fuck with remakes. I fuck with remakes when they do them.
When they do it right.
When they do them right. Recently, speaking of this, I just bought a remaster, but I just bought a remaster game. Now, let me explain. This particular remaster game hasn't been, it went to DS, it was on PSP, and it was on PS2, but it skipped a generation.
Wasn't it
You
on
couldn't-
PS3?
No,
Didn't
D2.
they do-
They did the continuation of the story. It was D2.
Oh, okay. I thought
Yeah.
it was okay.
Yeah, it was D2. So it's called Disgaea 1. But they came out and now it's Disgaea 1 completed. And it came out on PS4. And the reason I got it now, I understand that it's not going to stay up to par with its current, with its
Yeah,
predecessors.
because at the end of
you
the
know what
day,
I
it didn't
mean?
have all the
Yeah,
content that they
successors,
added.
not predecessors, it's successors. But I bought it for that nostalgic reason. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I feel like I'm gonna go to you, Trey, after this. I'm gonna have Ming finish it up for us.
Yeah, because he gonna have some shit to say.
uh,
He's doing his research right now, tapping away.
For me,
Kingdom Hearts, fuck them
HD
niggas. Hey yo, take key, fuck them niggas.
For me, like I feel like they're good. They're good. They help the gaming. They help the gaming community because it helps the younger kids be able to play, and I think it also helps the pockets of the developers to put the money that they make from this into, because it takes little effort to get it remastered. I mean, I'm sorry, that's disrespectful. It probably doesn't take as much effort as making an entire game as it does to get it, like, to remaster it or whatever the case is, to make an HD collection or whatever. And when you do that, like, it gives you not only a chance to get caught up on the lore of whatever it is, but it also puts some extra money in the developer's pocket so that they can invest in the game that you probably want. So I'm pro-choice. Just don't overdo it like how Kingdom Hearts did it, where I bought on the PS3 because I did miss out on getting it for PS2 because my parents weren't trying to drop money like that on multiple editions of a game. And
Street Fighter.
Where I would get, where I had bought it on the PS3, I bought 1.5, bought 2.5. Then they were like, "Oh, we're redoing it for the PS4," and I'm like, "Well, I don't want to turn my PS3 back on. Let me go get it." But that's them playing on my nostalgia a little bit. But I did it because I needed it for convenience. I could have turned my PS3 back on, but I mean, I want current trophies. So, you know, Trey, how do you feel about it? Do you feel like it holds up, and do you feel like this is okay, or do you feel like they're just kind of like, you know, hurting us doing this?
I think a lot of the remasters or well, more so the definitive editions, the HD, they get some fatigue if I just saw it on the last generation console. So if it's
Dragon's Dogma.
that, you
That
know,
was
if things like skip, you know, I'm fine with it. But when things are like, I just seen it last generation, like I don't know. I'm trying to think of some.
Resident Evil HD.
Assassin's Creed did it a lot too. Like, I think Black Flag was like, okay, this is on last gen, it's on next gen too. Like, if you just saw it,
you thinking of like the side ones like China and like
Tokyo.
well, just all that. Like, if you just if you just previously saw it, like, you know, I don't want to see it, but like, you know, something I would love is something that like it skipped generations. You know, went like under the radar.
They
Like
did that with Batman.
you know, like Diddy Kong Racing. You know, we haven't seen it. It did go to the DS and stuff, but it's not on a major platform.
Nintendo loves doing that. They love putting
You
things
know,
on the DS that you want.
But that's the thing. I think
And then
Nintendo.
you're mad.
I feel like Nintendo. They kind of sort of know a little bit. Like, okay, like we're gonna bring this back. We want the fans to anticipate it. Like, you know, like Mother. Like, we're gonna wait and see if someone's gonna wait and
I don't care
actually
about killing
request.
fetuses.
Yeah,
But-
his Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time.
Exactly. They
right?
waited until they got
Yeah.
like enough hype for it, and then they sell like crazy. You know. Same
Nintendo,
thing with.
Nintendo is great at that. That is one thing they are great because they know like, all right, we have the same shit like almost every year. Like, but if I give you exactly what you've been asking me for, we would, you know what I mean? Like, I get you hype. I keep telling you no, and then when I tell you yes, you make it the best seller.
That's
for
what
that
they
month.
do.
That's
You
what
know,
they do.
like they're. You know, the Mother series, they do it like Metroid. Everyone was like, okay, we want a Metroid and stuff. And then they gave us the trilogy with Wii. But then, you know, then they were like, all right, we're not going to put it on Wii U. Now, if they release
was
like
the
a thing
worst
with
decision
part
ever.
4, everyone's like, all right, if you put like a 1, 2, 3, and 4, we're going to go crazy about it, you know? So I feel like they kind of sort of got it. But games like, you know, you get tired of seeing some of the Resident Evils. Like 4 was on like the GameCube. PS2.
Well, no, four started on the GameCube. Let's get
It
it,
did.
right.
No.
Let's get it.
Oh, trust me,
Yes,
I know.
It started. You fucking bastards.
Then they-
That's one of
Then it
my
got
favorite
ported to
games.
PS.
That's one of my favorite games involved. Yeah, then they
if
ported
it's
it,
in the-
added
if it's
some
in the same-
features.
If it's in the same generation, I won't count it as a, you know, but after that, yeah.
Went to the Wii.
Went to the Wii up.
Yep, went to the Wii.
Yeah.
Then
360,
you know, 360,
PS3,
PS3,
Which is okay.
and then they ported it to
Yeah,
the
they
stores and the new ones. But
Yeah.
you know, I don't know.
How,
Like,
how
I'm
much
all for-
graphics can you constantly upgrade?
They're not
That's the
upgrading
thing,
shit.
they
It's just-
slightly
it's-
tweak
It's up,
things.
it's
Like,
up the frame rate or some shit, if anything. It's just the frame rate. So you can
Yeah.
be more smooth.
I remember I tried to play it on the Wii, and I was like, "What's the point?"
Smooth. That's
Real smooth.
the last thing on you?
I think you're fine.
All right, cool.
Um,
All right,
but-
I think I caught
But yeah,
it.
like, you know,
Alright.
I'm more of a remaster kind of guy. But if you remaster things, you got to do it correct. So one thing that pissed me off was when they remastered Budokai 1 and 3. You should have put 2 in there.
Yes.
And then,
oh my god.
because of the copyright on the music was fucked up.
Oh my
and
god, that was
It
terrible.
felt empty. It wasn't.
The HD.
And chala.
It wasn't done right. Hey, Chavez, I can see you're weird.
Oh my god! Listen, let me explain something to you. You've never, nobody has taken. If nobody's ever taken your childhood and said, "Hey, there's two remasters that me and you can talk about that have taken our childhood and hurt our feelings."
Mhm.
Okay, Budokai
Mhm.
HD collection
Mhm.
is one, but this next
How
one,
are you not gonna have part 2?
that there was no 2, and you've never. It's like
The music was sucked up.
the music was so different that it just didn't make sense. Like they was trying to show cutscenes where the music was there, and it was like watching a BT movie with the cuss words taken out. Like you knew something was missing. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
it sounded
Anchala-
really empty.
Chala was not what I grew up with. I always wait for you ain't get that.
Nope. They took out everything.
They took out everything. So what I had to resort to was go on YouTube.
Play with the old tracks.
Listen, play with the old tracks. Turn the music down. Yeah, yeah. And the second one was when Capcom. I mean, we talked about this in the previous episode,
that's a big one.
where they took our games and told us we were going to get one thing, and it was not that. That's disrespectful.
Yeah,
but,
that old
man,
Street
what do
Fighter
you-
was terrible.
How do you feel about it? Do you feel like it is?
In general, I think it depends on how frequent
Mhm.
these releases are
Mhm.
and how much content you get between between releases.
Mm-hmm.
For example, like in a way,
Mhm.
a remaster that I think was done right was for the Fire Emblem series. Fire Emblem Echo Shadow of Valentia,
Yes.
which came out
Yes.
last year. That was a remake of like the second Fire Emblem game.
Mm-hmm.
And it was fantastic because like it was freaking like that game is super old,
Mm-hmm.
but like they did such a good job at repolishing it
Mm-hmm.
and like making it so that us like who are spoiled by like modern day visuals like can
Mhm.
also experience like what it was like playing back then.
Yeah.
And of course, and like the most erroneous is just freaking like Kingdom Hearts, where I'm looking at the release schedule right now. Okay. So here's the thing, like the release schedule goes like this: Kingdom Hearts, Chain of Memories, Kingdom Hearts 2, RE Chain of Memories. Okay, so there's like a 3-year gap between Chain of Memories and RE Chain of Memories. That's okay because like Chain of Memories came out on PlayStation when original
came out on Game Boy,
came
right?
out on GameCube. So it was like okay, fine. Like, and also they repolished it so that instead of like being on a
Game Boy, yeah,
Game
it was
Boy Advance, yes,
yeah,
thank
yeah,
you.
Game Boy, yeah.
Instead of being on a 2D plane, like it's a 3D plane, but it has the same mechanics of the cards. So that's fine. 1.5 Remix came out in 2013. And so I think that's fine as well. Same goes for 2.5 since it's different content. But then, like, after that, so, okay, after 2.5 comes out, in 2017, 1.5 plus 2.5 Remix come out, like, combined. Okay. I'm annoyed because you have so many games, like, in between, but fine. It's been a while. But then literally, like, a year later, the story so far. What the hell? Like, we just got it last year. Are you kidding me?
Don't forget to
Wait, what's the price on it too?
The story thus
Oh,
far.
oh my god!
The story thus far has everything in it, which doesn't make sense. Hold up, you know what doesn't make sense about it? It's not coming out on Xbox.
Oh, really?
And that's where it needs to be. Like, the story thus far would make sense if you only had an Xbox system during that period of time.
Oh, that's terrible.
But we're getting the story thus far, and we already paid this amount of money thus far.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
like,
It's like, come on, just give it. And you're already. What's even more annoying is that they're coming out with like trailers for Kingdom Hearts 3, and it's like, okay, people want Kingdom Hearts 3. It makes no sense for you to just like freaking release this out of the blue with no one else. Like, wait a minute, why does anyone want this when we know that Kingdom Hearts 3 is like just down the road?
They should change the name Money Spent Thus Far. That's what it should be changed to. Like, cause that's really what it is.
I was just gonna say, like, to Ming's point, like, I agree that Nintendo does it well. We got Pokemon when they did the Pokemon, like Soul Silver, and that Alpha.
Even
Ruby
in a way, Pokemon
Ruby.
Let's Go is effectively like kind of a remake of Yellow and Yellow. It's been a while since like original Yellow.
Our
games.
last quote unquote remake of that or of the Red, Blue, Yellow era was
Fire Red, Leaf Green.
So there's been enough time, and Nintendo is king at that. I think. Or specifically the companies within Nintendo are kings at that, because if Nintendo had it their way, they would drop their remake as much as they could, just because they want the money for stock purposes and shit. But
stocks.
Yeah, like, but I definitely respect that. Like, I mean, in a sense,
You respect stock workers.
No,
I respect stocks.
I mean, but yeah, like, I think that with the right amount of power or the right amount of time given, they can be super effective. They can be great.
They're not
Give us something that we want. Give us like Time Splitters.
Hold on. Actually, speaking of Time Splitters, let me say this. My Oprah voice. Listen, Time Splitters.
Breaking news. Dun, dun, dun.
Well, at least it's close to Time Splitters. Gorilla. No,
Take
Red
it
Faction.
back.
Take it back. Take it
No,
back.
Red
Breaking
Faction. Yeah, no. It's the same shit. You can't even.
No, Red Faction 1 and 2 was different than what was Armageddon that came out. Completely
Not
different.
Armageddon. No,
Was it
Armageddon.
Gorilla Jump, right, or some
Yeah,
shit?
or Gorilla, that one.
No, but that was the one they remastered. It was the remar.
Nobody played that game, bro.
That shit was.
No,
fire.
we like
Nobody
the
played the
first
game, bro.
person Red Faction, not the third person. I have a hammer and I can knock through walls.
That shit was hot. Fuck y'all.
What they need to do is do a remake of Dead Space. Stop fucking with my emotions.
They need to do a remake of Okami. And
No, I swear to God. I swear to God.
They did Okami.
I swear to God.
No, that's the joke. That's
Oh.
nigga, of course I know. Okami came.
Capcom does everything. Do Power Stone.
That's what we won't
I
get.
would like to see
Dude,
that.
yeah.
Capcom
Do
never
Power
gives
Stone.
you what you want,
Okay.
unless
They did it on, like,
you
PSP
steal,
or
unless
something,
you
I
make a
think.
fake one.
No,
and
they
then see
gave
it.
us what we wanted. We wanted a reboot of
Oh,
fucking Resident Evil 2.
But
we
that's
finally
that's-
got it.
That's only
After
because
years of fucking asking for it.
But no, that's years of we kept asking, and then they was like, fuck it, we gonna make our own. They said, no, please, hold on. There's money here.
Wait, these niggas out here. And speaking of which, did you know the developers behind who was gonna make that reboot for Resident Evil 2 actually made a spinoff of it? I think it's called Day some shit. It's called Day some shit. I'm gonna look it up on top of it, and I'm gonna chime in eventually. But they basically made an own game by itself. I think Daymare or some shit. And it's set during 1998. Like, they actually have like their own developing system, like their own engine, their own game. They're working on it. I didn't see it come out yet, but I think it's still like they're still making moves on it. Actually, looks really fucking dope. And I mean, the graphics look phenomenal. And obviously, it's a different story in general. There's no Leon or some shit. Leon. So, but no, like it's really fucking interesting. You should probably look that up. Yeah, I should look it up too.
One thing I did want to bring up, since you guys had like brought up slightly, was in the terms of fighting games, depending on. Again, like the time frame in which each new game is released, I think fighting games is a different story when it comes to like other additions.
Balancing.
In the worst case scenario, it's the bullshit that happened with Marvel vs. Capcom 3 and Ultimate vs. Marvel. It came out like within the same year. That was dumb.
Yep.
That was
disrespectful.
Really
just so they can add Hawkeye.
Yeah, that was. and the thing is, like, Marvel vs. Capcom 3 already had DLC characters, so it's like, why are you... It's just like, it wasn't even like a full year yet.
Didn't they only have 2 DLC characters that came out with the first one?
And then they jumped both to Ultimate.
Yeah. I'm going to say this much. You haven't felt betrayal until you bought the limited edition of the game, got the steel book, because I was still buying physicals, and the game boo-boo.
Who did it come with? It came with Jill and
Shimagura.
Yeah. Ugh, terrible.
That was such a disrespectful
Yeah,
game.
Daymare. I'm sorry about that. I know, serious. Like Daymare 1998 will be released in 2018 for PC, Windows, all the stuff over it is, Xbox One, and PS4 systems. So
That's lit.
Keep an eye on that.
Capcom needs to stop because they did the same thing with Devil May Cry. They was like, all right, we're gonna put out HD collection.
Okay, well, I actually didn't play.
No, I'm not saying that.
Okay.
I'm saying it's fine that they did it, where they did the 3, but then they did it again, and they're like, we're adding 4 to it.
What they did was, they did it on the 360 PS3. First off, this is a PS2. This is a PS2 era. Yeah. PS2 era games.
Which
so
is
when it
fine,
came to the 360, and because I remember it because it came to the PS3 and 360 around the same time as the Metal Gear Solids and the Silent Hill collection,
which I think was fine,
which was dope. And then motherfucking this time around, which they did not age well. I got those games. I had went back, and actually I decided to get 4. If 4 didn't age well, I know 1, 2, and 3 ain't feeling that good. You know what I'm saying?
Well, 3, I think 3 did a pretty.
3's my favorite.
Everyone's 3's favorite.
3's my favorite.
3's everybody's favorite. You ain't the only one.
Yeah,
it ain't special.
I'm just saying.
He was just a normal nigga, just like me.
Ordinary.
Remake the games that we want. Like, remake the ones that we want. Like, stop going after the same old ones that you already know. You know, I think that's the thing. They're scared because they know what's gonna sell.
Yeah,
and they're afraid to touch franchises that they're like, we don't know if
the
climate is good.
So we don't
give
know
me Bionic Commando. It's like, no,
you do that. You
give me Army Men, Sarge's Heroes. That's not gonna age well.
Give me that Harry Potter remake. Definitely Hollow. I need that remake now.
No, the Goblet of Fire.
Like the Lego games. Who wants like a remake?
Be careful, Choppers actually like Lego games.
You want Harry Potter year 1 through 7?
No, they were bad. They were bad. I don't want those bad.
HD remake.
I don't want those. I do want an HD remake of Star Wars.
Force Unleashed.
That would be lit.
Yeah, that would be lit right now.
That was
because actually was a good ass game.
But there's too many licensing issues with that game. There's a lot of games that have like license issues. That's why
because it's dead, so it don't even matter no more.
Oh shit.
All right.
I was just saying, like, it's Disney, bitch. Like, Disney walked up in there like, yo, drop the motherfucking ducats, nigga. Like, ah!
So I'm gonna get on to the next topic now. So my question with you guys is this. All right. Like we just got finished talking about remaster. We got finished talking about the HD collections and stuff, and I want to know, like, this is the next topic. Like, how do you guys feel about mini consoles? Like, I'm gonna start with Trey because I mean he knows exactly what I'm talking about here. Like, how do you feel about the whole mini consoles and what they're bringing to the table? Like, do you feel like this is the industry playing on our nostalgia and
yes, I think it's the marketing team. I think it's marketing. I think it's the company's way of getting some extra money. I don't think it's a bad idea because there are people out there that they want these consoles specifically. Mm-hmm. But I think when it comes down to depending on what game is inside of the console, like a game that say Final Fantasy VII, which is everywhere, you can buy it on a PSN store, or like if they put the old school Crash games on there and we know we have the remaster. I feel like it kind of sort of loses its value.
Oh, so you're talking about the PS1 classic in specific, not any.
Yeah, in specific the PlayStation, yeah, but like with
Okay.
the other ones, I feel like Nintendo's they're a little more different because they watch their releases, they know kind of sort of what goes out, what goes in. Yeah, sure, you can get like Super Mario anywhere, but a lot of the games around it, like when they pulled with the SNES Classic, the Star Fox 2 that wasn't playable, that was something different.
Mm-hmm.
They don't release certain games out there, but I think it just all depends on the library, to be honest with you. The Sega was another thing. Those games are everywhere. Like, you can play the classic Sonic one.
Well,
Sonic
you
2.
can get the Sega collections and shit.
Yeah,
like that.
you can pretty much get those anywhere.
You
You
can
can get those on
now.
your phone.
You can get those now. Yeah.
So, I feel like it just depends on the library and how the company does it. I'm waiting on the N64, whenever the climate's right for Nintendo to drop that, to see what's actually going to be in there, because they are pretty frugal with whatever games they put out and what's going to get ported to, another console.
So I mean, because for me, a lot of my biggest question with all that is like, I don't know. Is it really? Granted, yeah, like some of these games we can get in virtual console stuff, but I'm seeing a lot of companies, they're shying away from doing the virtual console thing and stuff like that, because they're like, well, shit. If I can send out a mini system, whatever, and then put 25 games on it, because that's that. Like for instance, the PS1 Classic, you getting 25 games. You know what I mean? Like we're getting 25 games. They only released 5 for us to know about, and I'm gonna be honest with you, 2 or 3 of those are games you can't get. You know what I'm saying? In the virtual console. From what I remember, it's that little ball game, Tekken 3, and the third one was I can't remember, but yeah, like
If they put games on there that you can't really that you don't really see out there, I'm all for it. But if it's something that's
but
not.
by then, like you got to remember, they only dropped 5 games. For myself, I've had a PlayStation since I was 5 years old. So I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna put the money up because I have a good feeling that Sony does know this. They know that, okay, I can't put all the crashes on here because they just had the Crash remake. I can't put all the Spirals in there because we have the Spiral.
If they do, I'm coming back to this podcast.
Yeah, please do.
Yes.
No. You know what I think they're gonna do? I do think we might get like Crash Bandicoot 1. But that's no different than Nintendo putting Super Mario World on their SNES or putting Mario Bros. 3 on their NES. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not saying if they put 1, but if they try to spam and put like 2 or 3,
I don't think they're gonna do
They
it.
already put Final Fantasy 7 on it.
I know.
That's gonna be the selling
enough
point by
spam
itself,
right there.
even though the fucking remake is
The
right
remake
around
is right around the corner.
I would love to see. This is me going into what I want to see on it, but I would love to see Final Fantasy Tactics.
Are you sure it's 25?
It's 20 or 25.
It's 20.
It's 20. Okay,
20
so
games
20.
and they show fast. You only get additional
You get
15.
15.
Yeah. I was like, wait, I just read about it.
Oh, that's even worse.
So 20 games.
This
20
be
games.
bangers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I think they are. If shit.
Yeah,
you
because
put
you're gonna play Wild Arms.
Yeah, good.
and Wild Arms Wild Arms you can buy in the PlayStation Store.
Yeah.
But I will say this.
We coming back to this podcast and we clown the job this.
That's completely fine. You know what? And if my buy is better than that, we're gonna come back to this podcast so that I can let you realize that you don't have something I got. So,
but I don't care though. It doesn't have the dual shot. I like the analog stick.
But that's what I'm
don't
saying.
want
But that's the nostalgia purpose. Like
I think they should at least give people the choice. I think that they should at least.
But hold on, that's gonna. You're bringing me to another opinion. So before we get there, I have another point. So, Ming, Roland, you're last on this one.
Ooh.
You're last on
Because
this
I'm
one.
simple.
Ming,
Because
go ahead. How do you feel like this is just? Do you feel like this is just a cash grab, or do you feel like it's worth it, or do you feel like this is just a cash grab?
So I did want to look up the sales numbers behind this. I just looked it up. The NES Classic Edition, like the first, of these classic things.
Yeah.
It sold 2.3 million units, and then the SNES Classic sold 5.28 million.
Yeah.
So there's definitely an interest.
Mm-hmm.
My belief in buying one of these things is if you want to buy the game, like if it's available like on the network store or whatever, buy it there and play. But if you want to collect the thing
You want the nostalgia
as like
aspect.
sort of like as a collector's item, or maybe I just thought of this, like maybe like you have a kid. You want them to experience it, but you don't want them to touch your own games.
Mm-hmm.
That is
Yeah.
a thing.
Bam.
Mm-hmm.
That is a
Bang,
thing.
bam, wham.
That is a
Maybe,
thing.
yeah.
I actually know somebody who just did that. They
Yeah.
bought their grandson the NES Classic.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
Go
So
ahead.
that's where I think it's justified. If you are the consumer that like either wants to buy it as a collector's item or you want to buy it for your kid because you don't want them touching your own shit, like yeah, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Word.
Yeah.
I can definitely rock
I
with
do
that.
think that price scaling seems kind of weird because with the NES Classic, that seemed like okay because it's like they effectively like recreated the little like the console itself, and they priced it at $60. SNES, I think that was $80.
Yep.
Okay, I guess since like the games are like a little bit more like they're more refined than they were at NES. PlayStation being like $100, that's like really like, is it worth it at that point?
Is it worth it? Are you worth
Because
it?
the thing is like,
You think that from the
if
reverse
you're
it?
going with like price scaling, like down
Yeah,
the
sure,
line,
I
it's
do.
like, oh man, like, because if we're looking at like modern console prices, like you pay like $300, $200 for a console, and then if the price scaling stays true, oh man, PS3 Classic only $150. It's like, wait a minute, that's half the price of like a new console. Like, what the hell?
Yo,
Yeah.
that's real.
Yeah,
That's
like
real.
I if they continue with like their current price scaling, like people are gonna be like,
PS2
This is
Classic
dumb.
gonna cost
This is
$200.
this is dumb. Like, why?
It's dumb.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, I can see the PS2
You're stupid.
Classic
You're stupid. Everything's
costing
stupid.
a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. How do you feel, Roland? Before I get to my
This is
point?
easy. I can tell you how I feel right now. It's a scam. It's a scam. It's a scam. Guess what? Knock knock. Scam. Right? Because all this shit could be added and downloaded onto a motherfucking Raspberry John, and you can play it yourself, or you can put it on your phone.
Yeah,
It says-
emulators,
now,
yeah.
here's the thing. I get that some of these games are hard to come by,
Mm-hmm.
but codes are codes, my nigga. You can find them shits.
Mhm.
So, when it comes to the game that they're showing right now, I mean, like, with the Sony, particularly since we're focusing on that, I'm looking at, I'm like, oh, Final Fantasy 7. I can play that on my handheld, or I can play it on my phone, or
Mhm.
I can
It
wait
is
for
on
Remake.
phone, too. Yep.
Ridge Racers, nigga, who plays that?
I like
Tekken 3, cool. I know that's not gonna come out yet.
I actually have the physical copy of Tekken
Yet.
3.
I was like,
I
yet.
mean, well, but that's what
But
keeps him
so for
satisfied.
them to be successful, or at least but my idea of how to make this promotion of $100, give me $100, give me my nostalgia, is that they focus on games that are overpriced and as Trey were saying over this, that aren't commonly sold. So a
Mhm.
game that's not commonly sold but overpriced, because
Mhm.
you go online, you look for. I'm pretty sure, I don't know, you look for Tekken 3 online, probably what, $70, $80.
Yeah.
Couple games that were listed. Hell, I know back in the NES days, you look for a classic Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time or some shit like that. That might be a little pretty penny.
$200.
Hell, if you want to go further back, man, you want to get the original fucking Pac-Man. Like, certain games are highly priced, or
But
just,
you can't get
so
a
it's like,
hold of
they,
that,
like
that
stuff.
aren't easily obtained.
Yeah, so it's like, they make it where it's like, oh, you want this? How bad you want it?
If
huh?
they, if they
How
had
bad you
like,
want
so
it?
if they had like rival schools,
Yeah, stuff that I don't see. Like, you want this shit to be successful? Give me foreign games that didn't get ported
Yeah.
over to America.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then,
I think they
I
would.
will. I will. Do you think they would?
I
Ask,
think they would.
ask yourself honestly. You think they would?
No, I mean, but think about it. I mean,
Think about it. Will they?
Yeah,
No.
No, they're not going to do that.
No.
They're
No,
not going to do
there's-
that.
It's not enough of a profit.
I think they could put like maybe one or two, only because
One or
the reason-
two.
Chavez,
But dude,
I think
like
the marketing
this-
team
I'm
is
just saying, but
targeting
no,
me.
but
I
this
think
is
I'm
they're
talking
this
about
is
what
the shit I'm
Nintendo
talking
did.
about.
Nintendo did it. They gave everybody Star Fox 2 that nobody.
But that was
ever got.
different. It was already planned to be released everywhere, but the N64 was coming out, so they put it to the side.
Like, but
There might
that's
be
what I'm
something
saying.
like
Like, if
that,
they
maybe.
focus, if they focus on games that did not get ported over to America, or games that were region locked that never came
Whoa,
over to
look
America,
how
but
much
were in
Tekken
Europe.
3 is on for GameStop.
Oh, never mind. It's $3. I lied. I'm a whole liar. GameStop. Check if it's local.
Well,
But
that's also a physical copy. So like,
But-
I think a lot of people now, because I mean, like he was saying, like
Yeah.
I think that like I can
$50.
pull I can bring out my my old PS1, right?
Yeah.
But my memory card might not still work. I might have to go and buy another memory card, and then I have to buy like 20 of these games or whatever.
But you won't have a memory card for that either.
No,
gonna
but
be-
it's saved. You save directly onto it. It saves. It has its own hard drive and stuff.
So let me make sure I get this straight. All right, let's just say that your console works,
Yeah, and I have to pull it out. I have to grab the red, blue. The red, white, and yellow.
Yeah. Which TV still have?
Yeah, no, my TV does not have that. No
your
more.
TV don't have.
Yeah,
that.
a lot of TVs. A lot of the TVs that I have now, I only have one TV that you can do that with. Okay. My other
there's
one
adapters.
is.
My nigga.
But as I'm saying, there's adapters. I don't know, but I don't know how that transfer well into the HD.
All right, but
I'm calling it now. Chava's working for Sony.
Not done yet. So let's just do the financial standpoint on this, right? An adapter, a memory card. In this day and age,
in 20 of those games,
and 20 of those games that are going for $3.99, but one of them is.
One of them is.
Okay, so we can break this down 3 different ways. We have
hold on without skipping now.
Skipping, no. I will include everything. If we knew what the 20 games were, right?
And it wasn't used, brand new.
It wasn't you, brand new. I'll give you brand new. You have adapter, brand new games, which I really don't know, and a memory card. I think that still would be within the ballpark of that $100. Now, if it is over $100, you know it's an option. How about you just find it online, download it onto a Raspberry, you play it, you're done. Time. You just gotta sacrifice time and you get it, and it's free.
I feel you.
Not free. $60. I think $60 for all the Raspberry tools that you need. But overall, $60.
I feel like it's
compared to $100.
I feel like it's for people. And it's just my personal opinion. I feel like it's for people.
Everything's your personal opinion.
Well, I mean, that's the whole thing about the podcast.
That's the whole thing about the podcast, nigga. In my personal opinion, I feel like it's for nostalgia purposes. For people who want to in a sense relive what it was like to turn on that system. You know what I mean? None of the not the here's a friends list, here's online gameplay. Just truly for a nostalgic collector's purpose. I don't think that it's for I don't think it's for you to feel like, oh man, I got this PS1 classic and this is the best value out. I don't know. I think it's gonna hold. I think it's gonna hold its own value by holding the games in it true to its value or whatever. Because I don't know what the other games are, so I can't defend it.
I hope
you know
it's
what
all
I'm saying?
stuff that we couldn't get in America. Because if I see Resident Evil
But-
1 on
but-
there,
but
which you
that-
know is going to be on there.
It's gonna, yeah.
Resident Evil 1's going to be on there for sure.
Honestly, I think they'll skip 1 and put 2 or 3. Sorry, 3 is my favorite. I know we're getting a remake of Resident Evil 2, but the thing is
Sony is some hoes.
No, hold up. No,
My biggest gripe is the price scaling. I just looked on Amazon right now.
Yeah.
You can get a
Scalpers.
PlayStation 3 for $90.
It's scalpers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be
But-
real. The
but you
reason,
still-
I'm not going to say the reason because there's multiple reasons, but one of
But
the
that's the only place
reasons
that you
why
get the
the
PS1 games
NES or
too.
the SNES sold so well or sold that much is because people started buying that shit in bulks, expecting what happened last time. Here's the thing: playing on your nostalgia. First and foremost, playing on my nostalgia to make your money is fucked up. You ain't shit for that.
But a lot of people are doing
But
that
to top it off was that at the very least it was a collector's item because it didn't manufacture that many of them, which I get. But because scalpers started using that shit and I'm gonna fucking buy it all up and then sell it so I can make a profit. Now they're sitting there and pushing it all out. But at the same time, I got a copy for myself. But now you're not a collector's item. You're not.
Yeah.
That's the trade-off. So it's if you're gonna sit here and give me Tekken 3 when I know for a fact I'm not gonna fucking play it because there's a reason why it's outdated.
Yep.
Give me a foreign game that I couldn't play.
How
How hard is it to fucking concept the idea of maybe I want to play a game that was not over in America that could get subtitles and I can play and be fucking amazing.
But I'll say this. Though. I think that this is the start. No, don't think I'm all Sony. I won't look at it. You're gonna make me mad.
No, I'm not saying anything. I've been laughing
You
all
ugly.
the time.
Listen, N64. Nintendo.
I've been laughing.
I'm
all
gonna
the
say
time.
this. I'm gonna say this. I think that I personally think that this is going to start a trend of version 1s and version 2s of classics coming out. And the reason I say that is because I feel that this is going to cause everybody's like, oh, well, these things aren't really worth it or whatever, right?
You're not.
And they're going to start doing we're going to get SNES classic version 2 or Sony or PS1 classic version 2 where it comes with a different set. You know what I'm saying? Or they do a different thing. You know what I mean? Kind of like that. I feel like we would start getting some of those where they come with different sets and different games to fix how we feel about it. Because I think people are going to kind of realize, I feel like this is kind of a ripoff. I know for a fact, I personally, just because for nostalgia purposes, and I'm a sucker, I bought the SNES Classic. I'm going to buy the PlayStation Classic for the simple fact of I want to have that feeling of like I feel like I'm playing the old PlayStation. Like if Abe's Our World's going to be on there, I hope so. Shit like that. Like there's little nuances that I definitely want.
So, question:
Mm-hmm.
when was the last time you played your SNES?
2 days ago.
Fair enough. Just want to make sure that you still actively play it, because
Yeah.
in reality, you can just virtualize everything. You're cluttering up your room.
My MIDI system is cluttering my room.
One thing I will say, if they do release a classic, I hope that they release the Sega Dreamcast because it died and you can't find those games anywhere. To me, I feel like that would be more of a, like, hey, you can't find this anywhere. I can actually finally play Project Justice or some of the other games that drop.
Yo, that you know how many collectors
That's hard to
things
find.
you would fuck up their entire shit with that. Like they'd be like, I spent $225 for them. You remember us trying to find that game?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like that would be a little bit more different. Like
Cannon Spike. Oh my god.
Like GameStop carries PlayStation Classic games. Like, yeah, it's physical and stuff like that. To me, it's just not worth it. They're remastering Spyro, Crash. I'm just not.
I don't know. I think if I get, I'm gonna be honest with you on the PlayStation.
Again.
I feel like if I
Be honest with my opinion.
if I get CTR,
he's
Crash
always been a
Bash,
Sony boy, so he's gonna hold his Sony string.
Yeah.
In theory, because I've taken a look at the old like PlayStation 3 like classic store network or whatever, and like some of those PS1 classic games are like $5 a pop.
Yep.
So you buy this PlayStation 3
hold
for
up.
$90 on Amazon, then you buy the games that you want. That's already less money than what the heck this freaking garbage costs.
I mean,
I ain't gonna call it garbage, but I will say that this, if you don't have the time to configure and code not code it, but to configure and download the right the right
Emulators
files
and
needed
stuff,
to get it done, then I can see why you do it.
They were
But
stressful.
in reality,
They
man,
were
this shit
stressful.
can be done for like $60, $65.
Get you a bullshit ass Ouya.
No, not even a bullshit as Ouya, but in general, man, like that's just. I'm over this topic.
Yeah,
man. I'm done with this shit. We just going in a circle.
Yeah.
Chavez is gonna buy it. Ming, are you gonna buy it?
Nah.
Trey, you gonna buy it?
Nope.
I ain't buying shit. So Chavez, I'm happy that you gonna buy this.
I'm gonna have that shit.
You gonna have that shit. I'm like, Chavez, how much you spend on it? Oh, I spent like, 100 or something over this. Cool.
No, I spent like $50. I
I
some
paid
trade-ins.
$65 for the same shit you playing.
No,
We all winners now.
PS3, you guys spent $90. Then you guys spent $6 on all 20 of them games. Like $6. I mean, that's a lot. Think about $6
For PS1 games,
Yes.
all you have to do is buy that stupid ass Raspberry, put the time in, find those different files. You get
That
them
was
free.
stressful. I've played on them. I've tried to do them files. I'm gonna be honest with you. Sometimes your games start to be slow.
No, you just didn't do it
sometimes they
right.
work. Yo, if that shit got X-Men versus Street Fighter, I'ma laugh.
And that's R&R podcast.
All right, so basically, to sum up the damn topics, especially the last one, I was hated on that one.
We ain't hate it. We hate Tony.
So
Niggas trying to grab my money.
we have determined the fact that the term hardcore gamer more or less differentiates between generations. And the second thing, we have HD, remasters, remake, definitive edition, all those different classy little names to say that, hey, this is the same game that you're buying. We have determined that it is completely okay to do that long as there is space or generational space between the games and their releases. And we have determined that gaming companies are just playing off our nostalgia to take our money.
Chavez is a sucker.
And I'm a sucker that they took my money, and
I need it now. Give it to JG Wentworth, nigga.
We also learned that Ming hates Kingdom Hearts remake.
Yo,
Oh my god.
and we've
the
also
story thus far.
we're also summoning. I said
Summoning.
I summon old mighty Reggie. Oh.
We also summed up our first episode with Ming.
Yeah.
So
You know what you win? A Sony fucking mini. Yeah.
you ain't getting my damn mini. I spent $99
Plus tax.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate it, and it's been lit.